Hey guys, welcome back once again. In today's session, we're gonna discuss question number 11 to 15 from MSAT HU Math Test Sample Papers. So let's start. Question number 11 here is identify the image of point 4 comma negative 2 after a dilation of 3. So let me tell you a dilation. Dilation is basically a scaling or a multiplying. So let's take an example. If I have a line segment whose length is going to be 3 meter, let's say take an example, what will be the length of this line segment after the dilation of 2? Example, if I say what would be the length of line segment after dilation by 2, then you have to do multiply its length by 2, that gives you the 6. Now after dilation by 2, the length of the line segment is going to be 6 meter. That's what the dilation is. So simply in exam, whenever there is a question about the dilation and all, whether it is the line segment or the coordinate points or whatever it is, you just need to multiply by the number which they are talking as a dilation. So now in our case, they are saying us dilation, what would be the image of a point 4 comma negative 2 after a dilation of 3. So just need to multiply the coordinates by the number 3. So that's going to be 4 times 3, that's going to be 12, and negative 2 times 3, it's going to be negative 6. So 12 comma 6 will be the image of the point 4 comma negative 2 after a dilation by 3. So that is 12 comma negative 6 will be the image of these coordinate points. So A is the right answer here. All right, let's move to the next question. Okay, so next question is again a geometry. It says a rhombus has a diagonal with length 16 and 30. What is the length of a side of a rhombus? Now let me tell you, rhombus is a quadrilateral in which length of all sides are equal in measure, but it is tilted, not a straight, it's tilted. Let me just draw a rough sketch for the rhombus. I can say, let's take, this is, I can say it's a rhombus. Let me just assign a name to it. So let me just say A, B, C, D is a rhombus in which the length of all sides are equal in measure. So this length of all the sides are equal. Now they are asking us, they have given us the diagonals of the rhombus. So what do you mean by the diagonal? Let's suppose if I draw a line which joins a D to B, this is called the diagonal, and the length of the one of the diagonal here is 30, and another diagonal they have given here as a 16. So it means if again I join the length of the line, join the point A to C, again this is called the diagonal. Then I can say the length of AC is going to be 16, and the length of BD according to BD, it's going to be 30. But whatever the line we have drawn, let's say line segment BD has bisected by the line segment AC. So bisect it, basically it's divided into the two equal parts. The total length is going to be 30. Then this length is going to be 15, and this length is going to be 15 again. Same way, line segment AC or diagonal AC got bisected by the diagonal BD, and it's divided into two equal part, that is 8, and this is 8. Now look, and another important thing I can say, whenever you bisect the diagonals of a rhombus or even a square, as the length of sides are equal, at the point of intersection, those makes an angle of 90 degree. It means I can say if this is a say O is the point of intersection, then in this case I can say triangle AOB is a right angled triangle now, isn't it? So one is, if it's making a 90 degree, so triangle AOB is a right angled triangle. Now in a right angled triangle, if I know any two sides, I can find the length of the third side by using the Pythagorean. So now this is, now I'm talking about this triangle. Now this is acting as a right angled triangle. So by using the Pythagorean, I can find the length of the third side. In Pythagorean says in a right angle triangle, side opposite to the 90 degree, that's what we say hypotenuse, or the longest side, the square of the hypotenuse is equals to sum of the square of other two sides. In our case, hypotenuse is basically AB. I can write it as the square of AB is equals to square of the sum of the square of other two sides. Other two side is going to be AO and its length is 8, and OB its length is going to be 15. Let me just write it as like 8 square plus 15 square. So after doing this, you can just use your calculator. So we know that 8 square is going to be 64 and 15 square is going to be 225. So AB square, it's basically this one. So 64 plus 225. So what the result you're gonna get? 64 plus 225. 64 plus 225, you're gonna get it as the result. It's gonna be 289 after adding them. Then AB is equals to the square root of 289. So I am saying that because like while to get rid of the square, so look at here what happening. So here we are getting this result here as 289. This is AB square is equals to 289. Now I have to get rid of the square root from this side. So to get rid of the square, to get rid of the square from AB, I have to put a square root. When we put a square root, then it becomes square root and the square get cancelled. We just left it as AB is equals to square root of 289. So that square root of 289 is plus or minus 17. But we are talking about the length of the line segment and the length never be negative. So that's why the length of AB is going to be positive 17, or that is the one of the side of a rhombus. So that is A is the right answer here. Right. So after just after just writing this one, you can use a calculator and you can get the answer. Need not to solve it in this way, as the calculator is allowed. Let's solve question number 13 here. Question number 13 says, if measure of angle A is equals to 35 degree and the length of side B is 3 and another length of side A is going to be 4, how many different triangles can be constructed? So let me tell you, this question can be solved by using either a sine rule or by the some basic property of triangle. So let me show you in a both way. Okay. So now what actually the sine rule is. So let's consider a triangle ABC. Let's say this is the triangle A, B and C. Opposite side it's going to be, let's take A, this is side is going to be B, and this is side is going to be C. These are the angle A, angle B and angle C. According to the trigonometric sine rule says, in any triangle, the sine of angle A over this opposite side A is equals to sine of angle B over its opposite side B is equals to sine of angle C over its opposite side C. Now look at, if this is the angle A, opposite side is going to be side A. This is angle B, opposite is going to be side B. This is angle C, opposite is going to be side C. So this ratio is always a constant, some fixed value. Right. So I can make use of this one to solve what is the angle. Look at, if you know any two angles in a triangle, you can find what is the third angle. And if the third angle is greater than 90 degree, then we say it's an obtuse triangle, less than 90 degree acute triangle, and it depends. So now let's first find what is the length of the another angle. So what is the value of the another angle to say whether the how many triangles can be constructed. Now look at, let me just draw the simple diagram over here once again, which representing, if I say this angle it's going to be 35, let me say this is the angle A and opposite side is going to be 4. This is, let me say, angle B and opposite side is going to be 3, and this is angle C. We can find it out. Now let's first find what is the angle B is representing. So angle B is by using the sine rule. The sine of 35 by 4 is equals to sine of angle B by 3. So from this one you can calculate what is the length of what is the value of sine B. So how do we do? To first solve for sine B, just do it like 3 sine 35 by 4 is equals to sine B. So you can put it as it is in your scientific calculator, like 3 sine 35 by 4, that gives you the value here as 0.430 is equals to sine B, but I am interested in finding the value of B, that's angle B. To find it as angle B, take it as B is equals to sine inverse of 0.43. So sine in, to operate the sine inverse, you have to use the shift then sine. So shift sine and that value 0.430. What answer you gonna get? So you're gonna get this angle B here as approximately 25.47 degree. So now look at, one angle is 35, another angle is 25, and we know that according to the triangle rule, the sum of the three angles of a triangle add up to give you 180 degree. So one is 35, let's say consider, another one is 25 if I round it, plus angle C, that all should add up to give you 180 degrees. So now 35 plus 25. So what we are gonna get? 35 plus 25 we're gonna get together as 60. Then I can say the measure of angle C, it's gonna be 120 degree. So angle C is 120 degree and greater than 90. That's why we say we can create a one obtuse triangle. So if the angle greater than 90 degree, those triangles are called obtuse triangle. So that's what I can go with the rule. And as I told, I can, without doing all this, if I know the basic property of triangle, I can just by looking at the side and the angle, I can tell you the answer. This all calculation is not required. This is really going to help you in your exam while saving the time. So what the property says, please remember this. The property of the triangle says, property of a triangle says, in any triangle, side opposite to greatest angle, angle is longest side, and side opposite to smallest angle is shortest side. I can, smallest angle is smallest side or shortest side. So this property I can make use here. So if side opposite to the greatest angle will be the longest and side opposite to the smallest angle is the shortest. So I can use this property. Now how do I make use of this one? Now look at here. If I'm drawing a triangle here ABC, now look at, if this angle is 35 degree and opposite side it's gonna be 4, and I don't know what this angle is, but its opposite side it's gonna be 3. Now look at here, this side, length of the side is depending on its opposite angle. If the angle is smaller, its side is going to be smaller. So in this case, I can say the definitely whatever the angle, if I'm saying this is angle A, definitely whatever the angle B I'm going to talk, that will be smaller than 35 degree. That's for sure, because its side opposite to that is the smaller than 4. So whatever smaller it may be, even though it may be 34, 33, I don't mind. So then definitely if this angle is 35 and this is also approximately, you can say it as 34 or 30. So all together gives you 30 plus 35 in case if I don't know how to solve that. So that gives you 65. So 65, and this angle must be definitely greater than 90 degree now, because all the sum of the triangles add up to give you 180 degrees. So now this triangle, this angle must be greater than 90. That's why we can create one obtuse triangle. So if I just know this property, I can, without doing all this calculation, I can just tell this answer just in like within a minute, I would say. So please remember this rule. All right. I'm explaining here in a detail, so I'm not solving, I'm not doing any exam over here. So I'm just doing only for your understanding purpose. So I'm going in a very detail. You might be thinking that this guy is taking like so long time to just solve a 4 to 5 questions. He's taking 15-20 minutes. If I solve it in my way, I'll be completing it like, 4 to 5 minutes only. But if I do it in that way, you guys won't understand. So that is the reason I'm going in detail. Just try to understand the concept. So you can do as fast you can, so that if you know the basic, if you know the concept, so just try to understand that. All right. Okay, so now let's move to the next question. What the next question is about: what is the sum of square root of 27 and square root of 108? Simple. This is, I would say, a simple calculator question. If you put the values square root of 27 and square root of 108 in your calculator, definitely you will be gonna end up with the one of the option available. So it's just like a less effort question, I would say. But if I can solve without using calculator, look, this idea is really gonna, because you may not get the exact question, but whatever the ideas and the points I'm gonna discuss, that may help you to solve others. So now how do I say square root of 27 plus square root of 108? So 27 can be, I'm just reading, 27 can be written as 9 times 3 plus 108 can be written as 9 times 12, isn't it? I can write it because they are just a multiplication. So 9 can also be written now again square root of 3 square times 3 plus square root of 3 square times 12 can be written as what? 4 times 3, isn't it? So 4 times 3 again can be written as 12, can be written, see, 12 can be written as 4 times 3. So 4 can be written as 2 square times 3. So I can write it in here as 2 square times 3. So now what I do, the square number and the square root will get cancelled out. This can be written as square root of 3 square times square root of 3 plus square root of 3 square times square root of 2 square times square root of 3, isn't it? I'm just separating them, like, for your understanding. Square and square root get cancelled out, then this result I'm going to get it as 3 root 3 plus again square and square root get cancelled out 3 times, so square and square root get cancelled out 2 times square root of 3 is left. So what we left here, 3 root 3 plus 3 times 2, 6 root 3. So 3 root 3 plus 6 root 3, that gives you the result here as 9 root 3, right? So 9 root 3, and our option A is the value same written as 9 root 3. So that A is the right answer as they have mentioned here. So let me just show you, because I'm just hiding so many things. Okay, yeah. So this is what your answer is, right? So that's how do we solve. So if you have calculator, put it, you'll be getting answer within fractions of seconds. Need not to worry. Okay, question number 15 is again a line segment A dash B dash has endpoints. That is, A dash has the endpoint as 4 comma negative 2 and B dash has endpoint as 16 comma 14, and is the image of line segment AB after a dilation of half centered at the origin. What is the length of AB? Okay, so now look at here, whatever this is, let's take first, let me explain what actually first plot out the whatever the coordinate they are talking about. I don't know, I'm gonna take it as an approx. A dash coordinates are 4 comma negative 2. So 4 comma negative 2 I can take somewhere over here, 4 comma negative 2, and 16 comma 14 I'm just taking it as a rough. Let me say this is the 16 comma 14, these are the coordinates, and this is the line segment. What they are saying, this is the line segment A dash and B dash, and this is line segment has resulted after dilation of the line segment AB. Mean definitely the line segment AB must be greater than this. As the line segment AB got dilated by half, it means line segment AB got multiplied by half, or I can say divided by 2, resulting this line segment. So I first need to calculate what is the length of A dash B dash. How do you calculate its length? Look, you can use the distance formula. This is the way of calculating the length of the line segment. What distance formula says, if I'm saying this is the length x coordinate x1 y1, this I can take it as x2 and y2. According to the distance formula, the length of the A dash B dash can be written as the square root of x2 minus x1 square, x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. So substitute their values, what you gonna get? Square root of x2 we have taken as 16 minus 4 square plus y2, it's gonna be 14 minus of minus 2 square. So that gives you, because it's a calculator, you can put it as it is. After writing this one, you put this expression as it is in a calculator, you're gonna get the answer. Not to worry, because calculator is allowed. So I can say 16 minus 4, 12 square, plus 14 minus of minus 2, 16 square. So square root of 12 square, it's going to be 144, and square root of 16, it's going to be 256. Together that gives you the value here as 400. 144 plus 256, 400, and square root of 400, it's going to be 20. So we know that the length of the line segment A dash B dash is 20. So what would be the length of the original line segment AB? So I can, as I said, this A dash, the segment, line segment A dash B dash is after scaling the line AB by 2. So I can write it as the length of line segment, let me just say AB is, half of the AB, or scaling the AB line segment by 2, scaling the line segment AB by half, that gives you the line segment as A dash B dash. That's what they have mentioned. So that is whatever the result we are getting, this is the result of the scaling the line segment AB by half. So now what is the length of AB? So how do you simplify it? Line segment AB, this half can be written as by 2 is equals to length of A dash B dash is going to be 20. Now just do the cross multiplication over here to get what is the length of AB. So AB can be written as 20 times 2, that is the length of AB, it's going to be 40, and A is the right answer here. All right. That's it for today's class. In the next video, I'll be solving the questions like the next 5 questions, that is from 16 to 20. So please stay connected and like, share, and subscribe to my channel for the more and new updated videos. Thank you so much.